No, stop. No, stop. I'm live. Stop it. Oh, hey everybody. Sorry, just getting a little touch up there before we went live, so I won't be so shiny. Hello, my name is Andrew Hockrattle. Welcome to the party. This is the Daily Creative Challenge. If you have not joined us before, welcome. We're so glad that you are ready to be a part of our family. We are going to be hanging out today for the next half hour or so, doing all kinds of fun stuff in Adobe Illustrator. Now, this is week 2 of the challenges, so if you haven't joined us before, it is the perfect time to come in. Hello, Bibiana from Colombia. Dimitri's here. Gregory, Yvonne, Nick, hi, hello, Michelle, whoop whoop, and of course our friend Wade. We love Wade. If you don't follow Wade, go follow him. He does great streams, so follow Wade. A couple quick announcements. If you want to get connected with me, you can do that in an assortment of ways. You can click the follow button, which is somewhere around me to one of these sides or above me or something. You also can just follow along, hock.co, HOCHDOTCO, on all social media platforms, Behance, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you like. And if you want to follow me on Behance tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be going live making a pitch deck for a client that we've been working on my streams, and we'll be doing that live and then pitching it to them live tomorrow. So super exciting, super fun. All right, so one more thing that I want to tell you about is how you can get involved with what we're doing here. You can come over to, there we go. Oh, there's an extra camera on. Let's go ahead and just turn that off. How about that? Nope, that was me. Let's try that one. There we go. So you can get involved by coming over here to behance.net/challenge/illustrator. This is where you get the source files, which you will need today for us to build our star chart. We're going to be working with scatter brushes, which will be really fun. So come on over here. You can sign up for the Daily Creative Challenges, as well as get all of the files that you will need. Now, you also can get involved by going here to bit.ly/AI Discord. Oh, here, let's show off the nails. bit.ly/AI Discord, gold and blue. Go over here, check it out. It is a great community where we are hanging out. People are doing the daily creative challenges. These are some planets that we had been working on, and I think a couple of you did the extra credit. So the extra credit from last week was to make a badge out of your logo, and there it is. Who made this? Greg Wolf. Good job, Greg. You get extra credit. Extra credit from me. Approved. A+ in this class. You're doing it, and you're doing it great. All right, cool. So with that, today we will be working, and we will be going to space. If you haven't been joining us, we are working in a space theme for our daily creative challenges and learning concepts along the way. So you can tell your own journey, you can make your own things, and today is going to be very fun because we will get to use my favorite product, imagination. Right? It's my favorite. So we're going to use our imaginations today. Let's go ahead and blast off into space, and I'll see you guys in a second. And here we are, floating through space. I'm a rocket ship. I'm a doing that. I don't know. It's a song about space or something. Hello. If you guys have ever seen Men in Black, there's that scene where the guy gets shot and his head grows back, and he's like, "Do you have any idea how much that stings?" That, but except for how hot this is. So if I get sweaty by the end of this, you know it's because I love you. All right, let's take a look around us. Let's just take a moment and look around us, and what do we see? Right? When we are in space, we see stars, we see planets, we see nebulas, but today we're going to focus on the stars. It seems like Monday is a great day to make a wish. So today we're going to be using our imaginations and scatter brushes to make some stars, and then in there we are going to find some constellations. So it should be super, super fun. And remember, when we are doing this, we are translating something from the real world over to the digital world. That's what Adobe Illustrator is really great for. So we're going to take this real world of the stars that we see floating around us and translate it to something digital. So when we look, what are some key attributes that we have? They are random, right? They are scattered randomly. They are different sizes, and even some of them are different rotations with kind of different flares coming off of them, right? And thankfully, those are all details that we can make using scatter brushes in Illustrator. So let's go ahead, hop out of space and into Illustrator, a different space. There we go. So if you're here, you will have our starting file for the day, and challenge 5 is to design a galactic constellation map using scatter brushes and custom lines. So we're gonna do a little bit of both of those. And y'all, of course, we gotta have our little tagline, second star, straight on till morning, from our good friends at Peter Pan. Excuse me. All right, so what we want to do is we're going to come over here, and I have this grid turned on, but I'm going to start making some star shapes. And the way that I like to make stars, there's a couple ways to do it. We can use actual stars by coming over here and just clicking on the star tool, and then we click and do a 5-pointed star, and there we go. Now we have a star. Now, I don't want stars like this. I want stars that are a little bit cooler. Sorry, stars. Oh, it may be the second star to the right, but we're going to the left. We'll see what's on the left side. Scatter brushes you can get them in Photoshop. I don't think they convert back and forth. But what we're going to do to make our stars is we are going to take an ellipse. We're just going to make a circle by holding Shift and dragging out. Let's go ahead and fill this with a color. There we go. That yellow's nice. So we're going to select this and go to Object. Nope, we're not. We're going to select this and go to Effects, Distort and Transform, and then Pucker and Bloat. So Pucker and Bloat is something that not a lot of people use. I think it's a very, very helpful tool, and basically think of it as inflating something. So when we turn up the bloat, it starts to bloat this shape, right, and kind of blow it up at the seams. When we pucker, it starts to pull it in at those points. So this is a great way to make really dynamic stars. So that's a good star. So we're just going to pucker so that it comes in. We're going to hit OK. And then from here, we're going to go to Object, Expand Appearance. And now we have a great star without having to deal with any of these anchor points. Now, usually when working, I don't like super kind of stark edges. We're just going to grab this and pull it in a little bit, and this will give us a little bit of roundness on those edges. I think that looks more classic to me. All right. So we're going to drag this. Actually, let's just leave it right here. So this is the star that we have. This is probably the biggest that we want it. So we want to scale this star to the biggest that we want it in comparison to the other stars that we might make. So that feels about good. Now we're going to select this and come up here to the brushes panel. We're going to click and then click on this little plus right here. And this is a new brush. So let's go ahead and click on this new brush. And over here, you have all kinds of options. We're going to choose scatter brush. I clicked the wrong one as I said it. Maybe we'll cover the other ones in another day, but today we're going to cover the scatter brush. We're going to hit OK. And here we're going to name this our star brush. There we go. A star is born. I'm not going to sing. All right, so size, we're going to do random. So here, you can either fix it or you can set it to random. Using scatter brushes, I usually want to use the random just to get some interesting things. And already we've set the largest size that we want. So the right side is the largest, the left side is the smallest. And over here on the right, we want 100%. That is the largest we want it to be. And then I'm going to shrink this down and go to maybe 20%, see if that's too small. Again, when we are in space, you can see that some of these are bigger, like this one here, and then in the distance, some of them are smaller, like this little guy here. So we want to replicate that in our scatter brush. So working on spacing, we'll go random again, and we want them to either be very close or very far apart. Not 600, let's do like 200. And we can change these after the fact, so we're just gonna kind of keep messing with them and see what works for us. So scatter, and this is how much they are apart from each other. Some of them might be overlapping, some of them might be pretty scattered. Let's look at space. Yeah, some of them are pretty close and might be overlapping, so we'll just do that. And then rotation, of course, we want to go random, and we want it full rotation either side. And down here, the colorization method, we want this to set to tints. Key color, that's what we want. Let's hit OK. There we go. And up here in our brushes panel, you'll see that we have a yellow. Ignore these blue ones. Those were my test ones before we went on the stream. We are doing this bright yellow, which I think is very fun. And so now we have the yellow. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to grab the brush tool by hitting B, or you can click on it right over here. And I'm just going to, with our star brush selected up here, drag across this and maybe in some wavy lines. There we go. Oh my goodness, a star is born. That's when I should have used the joke. So we are going to do that, just drag across and do that scatter. And now we have all of these great stars. Now to me, I wish that there were more and that they were less kind of spread out. So what we can do is with this selected, we can come in here and we can actually select this brush and then click on this little menu panel over here, 2 to the left. We're going to click on that, and here we can see a live preview, if we turn on preview, of some of the things that are happening. So we know that the spacing to me is too much. So I'm going to bring this in, and you'll see that they start to get a little bit closer, and that's what I want. This size to me also is too big. I'm going to shrink these down so that we have a lot of smaller stars. There we go. That's starting to feel a little bit better. The scatter, I want it to be more scattered. Oops. There we go. We're starting to get there. So let's get the spacing a little bit more dialed in here. A little tighter. There we go. That feels right. Oh yes, they are white because of tints. So you can actually change it so you can do tints and shades. You can do hue shift, and hue shift will basically just change whatever the actual color is. So hue shift might work better. I like working with tints because you can kind of play with it. So now we have these. Let's make one more, and this one we're just going to make in, let's say, a little bit lighter color. So we're going to do another, and I'm just going to scribble this time. There we go. And now we have stars on a scribble path as well. Now there are too many of them here, so I'm going to go ahead and space those out. Turn on that preview. There we go. Yeah, it feels good. And so they are all over the place, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a clipping path, clipping mask over the whole thing. I'm just going to make a shape over the whole thing. And I'm going to select those by just dragging over and make a clipping mask. And that way we have all our stars in here. So now what we're going to do, now that we've created our scatter brushes, right? Hopefully that was fun. Everyone loved it. Now what we're going to do is use our imaginations. That was your ASMR for the day. To look in here and see what we can see. What constellations do you see with your scatter brushes? And so that's why I love the challenges being open. There are no wrong answers in my daily creative challenges. We focus on learning the tools and not necessarily having a finished product. So today, we're going to use our imaginations, put your stars wherever they go, and then start to look at the stars and see, okay, what shapes do I see, right? And that's where we're going to start working with the pen tool. So we're going to grab the pen tool here. And with the pen tool, and you can use the brush tool as well if this isn't too easy for you. And I'm going to look, and the thing that I'm seeing, and maybe I just have Australia on my mind, but I'm seeing a boomerang constellation happening right here. Oops. I'm seeing a boomerang constellation happening right there. So what I'm going to do with my pen tool is I'm just going to start making this path to outline this boomerang that I see. Again, we're just clicking and holding on this to have the nice little boomerang shape that I want. And then it kind of comes down here and then wraps back up around here. All right, so we can play with these anchor points a little bit. I'm actually not going to be too worried about it because we're just kind of showing you how to make these constellations. Ooh, I see a cat. I see two cats. So we're going to come over here and we're going to make this white just so we have some contrast with our constellation. And over in our stroke panel, we are going to make this about 5. You can see right now it's showing this boomerang, but it's going over the stars. So we're going to put this behind the stars by just using Command or Control and then bracket. The back bracket, we'll put it behind those. And instead of being a straight line, I want it to be dashed. So we can just click right here on this dashed line button. And that is going to change it so that it is dashed, so it looks like that kind of constellation highlight, right? So the great thing is, let's zoom in here and I'll show you how to kind of customize this. Is you can come in here and with this selected, you can change the length of these. So maybe the dashes we want to be longer. So let's do a 20-point dash, and then maybe we want more of a gap. So then we can do a 40-point gap, and that's going to be a little bit larger gap. And then maybe the next dash we want to be just 20 points. So you can change it so that the dashes and distances are fully custom. So then let's do one at 10. There we go. And then another gap, let's do 5. So there, as we zoom out, you can see that this outline is now a custom outline. And Jerry, it's fine. A lot of my work looks like trash as well. You just have to kind of finesse it until suddenly it's not trash. That is, someone please tweet that. That is the design quote of the century. It looks like trash until suddenly it's not trash. Welcome to the design industry, everyone. Totally a unicorn head, top left. Oh, I see it. I see it. Yeah. So you can come in and with that, with the pen tool, make your constellations and then use over here this dashed line tool to create the dashed lines to map out your constellations. And now I want you to get creative with this. Make your own stars. So maybe instead you want your stars to be regular stars. So you're just going to come over here. You're going to click on the star tool. Again, click. Choose a 5-pointed star. There we go. Oh, and we have our weird stroke on that star. Let's go ahead and fill that with white. And it's going to be the same process where we click on it. We come up here to our brushes. We click on New. Then we click on Scatter Brush and hit OK. There we go. And again, we can just do maybe a white star here. And the same thing, we can start playing with these different sizes, with the spacings, a little bit of the scatter. And a lot of times I just do this very quickly and very randomly because I can go back and fix it. Then we're going to change the bottom to hue shift. We're going to hit OK. And now, again, we have a really great white star that's ready to go in our brushes panel. And we just scribble that on however we want. And now we have white stars. And you can keep scribbling, you can keep adding more paths to add more stars if you like. And the great thing is, if we're working with layers, we can start sending these back and forth so that they start to go behind and in front of some of these yellow stars. So it really starts to create this magic. Now, something else that's cool to do is to hit Command Y, and that will show you what your actual design is. Again, a lot of times your designs look like trash until suddenly they don't, a little less trash. So behind the curtain is just random lines that have been thrown on a page, but because our scatter brushes are so dialed in, it's made it so that it looks composed and great. Can you mix 2 types of stars into one brush? Oh boy, can you? Let's go ahead and just delete all of this. And what I'm going to show you now is do we have time? We do have time. We are going to show you how to make multiples. So we're going to select both of these. We're going to go to Object. Sorry, we're not going to go anywhere up there. We're going to go up to our brush panel. Now we can hit New. We can go to Scatter Brush and hit OK. And the same thing. So now it's actually taking both of these shapes, not just one, which is very cool. We're going to do random. We're going to do the size down here, a little bit of spacing. I'm doing these random again because we have a little bit of time. Scatter and rotation, of course, we want to flip every which way. So now I can move these out of the way. And now when I make this brush, you'll see it's actually pulled in both of those shapes. So you can make it with as many as you want. You can make it with different colored stars. As long as they are together, it will always put them in that same orientation, that it is always they are together, but you can really get away with a lot using scatter brushes like this. This is the joy of how I want all of my designs to work. Oh, here we go. Let's do this real quick. Let's just make sure that I'm glowing in space for all of you, of course. So that's how you do scatter brushes with more than one thing. You can also do scatter brushes with different shapes. If you want to do planets, sure, why not? Do a planet, make a circle, put a gradient on that thing. Sure, let's do this one. Oops. There we go. We got a cool gradient, and boom, same thing. Scatter brush, okay. Oops. Maybe you can't do it with gradients. I have lied to you, and I've led you astray. But what we can do is you can make it just the regular shape. Go to New, Scatter Brush. Okay, I do have things to tell you, but I also want to show you how to do this real quick. So we're going to scatter these. There we go. Scatter. And this is a great way to show if you want to, right? Make some planets maybe. Let's do a scatter brush just across here. Oops, the scatter is way too much. Once we're done with getting it to where we want, let's see, that scatters way too much. There we go. Spacing. All right, cool. So those are our planets. Once we have it where we want, instead of just being this line, you can go up to Object, Expand Appearance, and now instead of having those scribblies, we actually have the circle shapes, the actual shapes. And from there, now we can come in and start to put these gradients on them. Click. There we go. And now we have some gradients of some planets floating through. So very, very easy to make these, very, very quick. And again, if you have any questions about scatter brushes, you can rewatch this video at any time, or you can hop over into our Discord, bit.ly/AI Discord. That is the place to be. And over in Discord, let's see what people are doing right now. People are talking. So people are talking over here in Discord, but you can post your work in Discord. You can also post it on Behance. How do you make them sparkling? We have made sparkling. I'm not sure what you mean. We've been working with scatter brushes today, though. So people have been posting their work in this Discord, which is somewhere that you can go and you can post your work. And I definitely want to see what you have and what you create with your constellations. Again, go through, create your scatter brushes, make some stars, and then go through and find what constellations you can find in those scatter brush stars that you have made. Just to recap, we found... It sounds like a kid show. What did we find? We found a boomerang for our friends in Australia. Hello, Australia friends. Thanks for watching. But we found all kinds of things in our stars. So every day, you can join me back here, same place, same time, and we will be doing daily creative challenges. Now, if you haven't signed up already, you can go to behance.net/challenge/illustrator. And you can click here. There will be a different button that will say sign up for the challenges, and you'll get notifications for all of the challenges. Every time that we go live with a challenge, you'll get a notification, and you can download all of our starter files if you want to catch up from last week. Last week, we made a logo, we made a glowing control panel, a solar system map, and a spaceship icon. So we had a lot of fun last week. And as always, if you'd like to follow me on Behance, that would be great. You'll get notifications every time I go live outside of these streams, which will be tonight at 8 o'clock. We're building a pitch deck for an actual client, which we will be pitching live on stream on Tuesday. So thanks so much. Let's go over real quick who's coming up next, because it is a very special thing, and I promised that I would do this, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a giveaway. And this giveaway isn't going to happen right now. This giveaway is actually going to happen at the beginning of the next stream. So our good friend, Alexis Bustos, is going on right after this, and she's being hosted by Peter Del Tondo, one of our favorites here. Peter Del Tondo is great and amazing and going to be so much fun. So I want you to stick around for that. And here's how the giveaway is going to work. Stick around for that chat, which will be going live in about 3 minutes. And when you join that chat, start dropping stars or rocket ships or anything space themed. And at the beginning of that stream, I'll be in chat. I'll pick one of you guys and I'll send you some free fonts that are my fonts. So I'll send you some free fonts. So stick around for that next stream happening in about 5 minutes. The chat should open up in 3 or 4. So go over to that stream as is. Actually, just stay right here. Stay right here. When I hit the buttons, it'll automatically transfer you. And then I want you to be dropping stars and spaceships and all that stuff. So we will be back again, same time, same place tomorrow, 11:30, as we journey into space. So stay tuned, stay here. And as always, you can check me out on social media, hawk.co. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Stick around for that giveaway. Bye.